This presentation is about the tundra biome. Biomes are a combination of ecosystems that are alike, with different varieties of communities, populations, and species. All biomes are located on the biosphere, the Earth. There are hundreds of different biomes due to each area of the world being different. Most people tend to focus on 6 to 8 main biomes with separate subcategories. Those few biomes include freshwater, saltwater, desert, tundra, grasslands, and the different kinds of forests. A tundra is a type of land where organisms have struggles when trying to survive. With plants having troubles growing, animals will as well, due to the trophic levels being connected. There are 2 main types of tundras. Desert tundra is an area where relatively nothing can grow, but Arctic tundra is more of a wide term, usually meaning anywhere with permafrost and difficulty growing. The different kinds of tundras are found in very different areas. I will be presenting about the Arctic tundra and more specifically northern Alaska. This climatograph represents the average high and low temperatures and the average precipitation levels in Anchorage, Alaska. There are over 1,700 species of plants that thrive in the Arctic tundra. As an abiotic factor, no plant roots can penetrate the permafrost. Some of the biotic factors include primary and secondary consumers eating the plants. It also includes competition within the harsh environments for growing areas. Other plants may try to take over the same place as another plant is trying to go because growing space is very limited in the Arctic. This is reindeer lichen. It has evolved from normal lichen into a camouflage species adapted to the harsh winter climate in the tundra. One of its fallbacks is how long it takes to grow. If there were to be an overgrazing in a community of reindeer lichen, it would take many years to grow back to what it was before the grazing. This is Arctic cotton grass. It is a very distant relative to the cotton plant we use for material. The fibers of the cotton grass are used to keep the seeds and reproductive organs warm in the harsh winter of Alaska. To reproduce, the fibers on the seed are wind dispersed. The plant is not only a good food source to many herbivores, but it encourages other plants to grow when overgrazed. This is a picture of the red bearberry. As hinted by the name, the berried shrub is a favorite among the bears. It can be found in the mountains or plains and are usually secluded from other plants. There are stringed fibers that surround the berries in the cold months, and leaves that will also wrap around the berries in harsh weather. The Atlantic salmon is an invasive species. It takes resources from the native aquatic animals, and when that happens, the capacity will change more and more as organisms will be fighting to survive in limiting factors, such as predation, disease, food loss, and shelter loss. The orca whale is shown to have larger count of individuals after the movement of the salmon, but other animals aren't as lucky. These salmon are different. In their natural environment in the Atlantic, it is endangered, so when it is invasive and infecting other species, it is more likely to survive and thrive in the Alaskan wilderness. There is a native species of crab, the blue king crab, that is an invertebrate. Being an invertebrate means that the organism does not have a backbone. Most insects are invertebrates. If the chicken-like ptarmigan were to become extinct, many animals would be affected immediately. Many predators lose a large source of their energy income. Many consumers will die off, not being able to sustain themselves. Some of the herbivores in the tundra include the ptarmigan, lemmings, and caribou. Lemmings are a small mouse-like rodent that burrows far underneath the snow to keep warm. Caribou lives in hundreds of organisms in a mutual relationship. They help each other keep warm, help find resources to support each other. They even migrate across cold plains together. In the tundra, omnivores have the most likeliness to survive because they eat both primary consumers and producers. One of the endangered species in the tundra is an omnivore, the Arctic fox. Some other omnivores include the invasive Atlantic salmon, spotted seal, vole, ground squirrel, and Chinese mitten crab. An example of a normal Arctic food chain is the sun, cotton grass, ptarmigan, and snowy owl. As I said, the sun is the source of all of our energy. Then the plants turn the sun into energy using photosynthesis, a process where chlorophyll in the cell of a plant transfers sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to make glucose and oxygen. The 3 plants, bearberries, cotton grass, and reindeer lichen, are all in the first step. From there, herbivores and omnivores cross over and eat all the plants, and then the omnivores eat the herbivores. Then the carnivores eat all of the consumers to get their nutrients. All of the consumers go through a process called cellular respiration. In cellular respiration, the cells take oxygen and glucose and turn it into ATP and carbon dioxide. All of the animals in the tundra have varying carrying capacities. The first image in the top left shows a problem with the carrying capacity of ptarmigan. This photo is an average trend in an Alaskan ptarmigan. The ptarmigan are facing a continuous problem of a decreasing capacity while the population is still growing. The energy pyramid is a way to show energy flow throughout organism. with the producers in the region starting off the pyramid after photosynthesis being the red bearberry and the common cotton grass. They start off with 100% of the original energy and are anaerobic, not needing oxygen. The next stage, primary consumers, is made up of caribou, lemmings, and ptarmigan, with only 10% of the original energy. The secondary consumers, omnivores, are the next level up, and they're made up of the Arctic fox, Atlantic salmon, spotted seal, and vole, and only have 1% of the original energy. The tertiary level is made up of the polar bear, tundra wolf, snowy owl, and orca whale. These are the apex predators of the tundra. They only have 0.1% of the original energy. All of the consumers are aerobic, needing oxygen. The 90% of the energy that is lost at each level is used by the organism that first obtained the energy. Some of the energy is also lost to the energy going through the processes of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. The decomposers are made up of many different kinds of fungi in the area, like reindeer lichen, and break down energy from carcasses at each level. There are only a few large settlements in all of Alaska, and with the very extreme climate, people would need to know and live with the cold weather all year round. People also need to know about the permafrost in the area that will severely limit what you can build or what's on the ground. Alaska is not an environment for people with no concept of how life would have to be in the cold, secluded plains. The two main impacts the humans have on the tundra is global warming and the oil industry. Global warming is where fossil fuels are like a blanket to the sun in our atmosphere. Oil industry is harmful to both the environment and the workers. The workers are affected because of the harsh working environments, but many animals are displaced due to the pipes being laid down, along with machinery breaking due to permafrost. The main way we could make both of these problems better is to cut down on our fossil fuel usage. The fossil fuels emit greenhouse gas when burned, which is how our race makes energy to function. We all need to cut down on non-renewable resources and change to renewable resources. If 9 out of 10 people changed fully to clean energy, we could have our world to the temperature it should be, and the environment in Alaska could return to its natural state. Did you know that there are many times during the year that Alaska's temperatures are higher than the temperature in Iowa at that time? There are more than 3,000 rivers and 3 million lakes in Alaska. Alaska has more coastline than the whole of America's coast combined, with 34,000 miles of coast. In Fairbanks, the northern lights can be seen on an average of 243 days a year. More than half of the world's glaciers are located in Alaska. Alaska is only 50 miles away from Russia. And that brings my presentation on the tundra to an